Hello everybody, NGS here and outro, intro out. Welcome back to City Skylines. In the last episode we created beach hills, and in this episode I want to create a residential zone in this area that will supply beach hills with workforce. That's basically the gist of it. So let's get going. Right, intersection marking tool was also updated, which is cool. I believe it now gives you the ability to create markings on pieces of road themselves, not just on intersections, which is kind of great, honestly. But before we play with that, I want some corner offsets. Make all that stuff look a little bit better. Now, it's not looking bad, don't get me wrong, but it could look just ever so slightly better, and it also makes traffic a little bit smoother. Nothing major, just a bit of smoothing here and there. And maybe this one. Sure. And this one. Those I don't think need to be smoothed all that much. And it's snowing. It's snowing outside, and like seriously snowing. Those are some big ass snowflakes. Not snowflakes, they're like lumps of snow falling from the sky. April, everybody. April. Yeah, spring my ass. There are fruit trees blooming in my garden. And it's snowing. Yeah, I got distracted. We got that done. And now we need the residential zone. That's right. That's what we need. I'm thinking we could use our super grid here. But I'm also thinking maybe we could have this super grid be bent. Now it's gonna be inefficient, but it's gonna look a little bit nicer, I guess. So I'm thinking a bent road. And like 3 more of them. Yeah, except separated by a lot more. This one by, say, 32. And 64. And that's gonna be 96. How's that gonna look? Can I... Oh, no, 96, enter. Yeah, it needed that enter. No, that's far too little. That's horizontal distance, and that's vertical distance. It's gonna be like 200, 400, and 600. I don't even know what these units are. Yeah, that's too much. But close? What? 20, 40, 60? That's far too little. 50, 100, 150. Almost. Double that. Double that should be fine. 100, 200, 300. That's too much. And I probably need less of them. Even less. It's gonna be like 80. Yes, it's gonna be 80. 84. Not 4. 84. Yeah. We want a little bit of a space. Can I somehow rotate this? No, you're just gonna be horizontal. Is that right? Maybe how about I do something like this? Okay. That's gonna work. No, god damn it. Yeah. Delete. And I want that road to be bent, please. A bit higher. No, that's too much of a bend. Too much. Little bit less. Little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be happy with that. There's no need to make it any better than this. Yeah, and just extend it to the very end. And now we need to connect this to the road. Maybe here and here and like here and here. Should be enough connections. Now we can connect those two sections and connect them in the middle. It's kind of a variation of our usual super grid. It's less super and less grid, but hopefully we'll be fine. And it still leaves us some space to work with. And we can connect to the other side, which might actually not be the worst idea. Sure. 10 high to the other side and down. Okay. That is certainly a connection, alright. Connection from here, mayhaps? It would need to go from here or so. And across. And down. And space already occupied by something. No worries. Everything can be moved. So can this. Yeah, that actually looks good enough to me. there's some decent connections. Connection here, I probably want to make some pedestrian bridges. So let's add them ahead of time. Sure. A park path style. Pedestrian bridges. Maybe something like this. Or then away. And 4 more. And that should give it enough clearance. Yeah. And now we just bring it to ground level. And there it is. A pedestrian bridge. They will also need some water, as humans are wont to need. Yeah, it's still snowing. If that continues, I'll be able to go out and build a snowman instead of planting tomatoes. That's some... Oh boy. Man, climate change is no joke, honestly. I remember usually... today is Monday, is Easter Monday. We have a tradition here in Poland where the Easter Monday is... I guess you could translate it like Soaking Monday or Soaked Monday. Basically, you like soak people with water for fun. And back when I was living out of the city, we pretty much every year, my neighbors and I would just have those battles with water pistols and water guns, and even like I believe I used a pressure washer once against them. That was fun. For me, probably more than for them, but hey, that's something that we were able to do. Nowadays, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. The world changes, and not in the ways I would like for it to change. Unfortunately. Those days, I'm afraid, are long gone. Now April is cold. And the days that usually were cold are now hot, and the days that usually were hot are now cold. And everything kinda sucks. But yeah, let's not get depressed. We have a city to build. That's a much more pressing matter, and I'm having a phone call. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Oh, electricity. Right. You wouldn't have electricity, would you? There. Now you do. Now you do. Okay, I'm glad you realized that you do have electricity after all. Now I want to move it. Not quite what I wanted to do. This. That's what I wanted to do. And now I will also create a path that goes like this. And a couple more pedestrian connections like that. because they always help offload some traffic onto pedestrian routes. And here, down the middle, here, and everything seems to be fairly well connected. Now we just wait for people to move in, and we need to also provide for them. A medical clinic is probably necessary. Let's place it here, near the entrance. A fire station. And a police station. For sure. A primary school. We want them to be educated and to eventually end up at our university. And a high school, of course. Like so. That alone should have them settling here. Yeah, of course you're gonna need electricity. Just a moment. Just a moment. Let's use those rural lines. They're fairly unobtrusive. They look nicely and they do the job. And would you look at that? No more issues with employment. You love to see it. But there are issues with the lack of goods. Who's complaining about the lack of goods? People here, I'm assuming. Yes. For some reason, businesses here are not getting enough goods. I wonder why. Perhaps that's gonna be a risky move. That is gonna be a risky move. But I want a cargo train terminal. They're allowed, but it's a commercial zone, so it shouldn't bother anybody. Yeah. A cargo terminal. Right there. And I want all kinds of snapping. That should be fine. Yeah, now they're gonna have better access to their wares. What other issues do we have? No educated workers. And yeah, no resources probably comes from our forest orchard. Of course. No educated workers. Well, we have a university. If only people were going there. They are actually. They actually are. Now, we still have a lot of capacity that's not being used. But people are actually coming here. Which, in itself, is a great success, if you ask me. But that's not what we should concern ourselves with. This area is. Now I'm thinking we should place some nice quay around here and a waterfront commercial district, because we also have some commercial demand. Let's grab ourselves the same kind of quay that's used here, so that we can connect it later. And how do we want to do it? Just a straight line? Slight curve? Something like this, maybe? Or do we want more detail? I think we might want more detail. Yeah, freehand. something like this should be enough. We're gonna need to fill this area with a quay as well, but we'll have to remove all those water outlets first. I want just nodes. Exactly like that. And I want them all to be... Oh, game. Yeah, I want them all to be raised a little bit. And even with this node. Oh, cool. That's gonna require some landscaping, but that is, of course, something we can do. So, not a problem at all. Maybe a bit more strength. Maybe level. Yeah, level with a bit more strength. And once it's all leveled, that's when we're gonna smooth it out. And that's gonna remove some water. Thankfully, there's nothing downstream, so nothing should flood. And now we can smooth the inside a little bit, which will widen and deepen the river a little bit. And now we can smooth. Just like so. And yeah, the terrain is looking mighty fine now. This isn't looking fine though. Do I have anything to drink? Yes, I do have a tea. We can probably smooth it out as well. And the effect isn't the worst. Yeah, I think smoothing it out is the good choice. Same goes for here. I was debating using a quay, but I don't think a quay for ridges this small would be a good choice. Just smoothing it out seems much better. What do you guys need? Education. Well, you have a primary school and a high school, so I'm not entirely sure what more education do you need. Perhaps a connection to our university wouldn't go amiss, though. Sure, how about that? But first, I might want to create some sort of a road for our... whatchamacallit? commercial zone. Something like this. And then something like this. With the appropriate connections to here, 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 and here, and now connections in the middle of those segments. Yeah, connected like that, and like that. Perfect. Perfect little commercial zone. With a bit more access to water, perhaps. Yep. High density commercial, please. Right on the edge. And sure, fill everything inside of there with commercial. Now they will need electricity, I can already tell. Let's maybe use those power lines. That should be enough. Okay, so those are commercial and residential demands taken care of. Actually, we could fill the residential zone a little bit more even. Yeah, just fill everything in here. I want all of this to be residential. Inside and outside. Precisely like that. Now we just wait. But I was talking about metro. They will need some metro, but before that I want to give them a way to get to the other side. Where they can actually maybe, you know... okay, what I mean is I wanted to put metro somewhere here, not in here. So I need to give people a way, some sort of a way, to get to the other side, actually. That should be enough. To the other side. And down. And from here, that was like 6 units. 8 high. To the other side. And down. And of course, we need some move it magic. To make it make sense again. And what's going on? What the no. I'm fairly sure I did not click this node. But whatever you say, I guess. Let's connect those two sides. Of course, with the help of Move It. Just like so. And now we can turn off pedestrian crossings. And somewhere here is probably where I want my metro to be. Metro. Some nice station, if I may. Trianon Masp metro stop. Oh, that one's big. That one's small. I don't want anything tiny, but I don't want anything too large either. And hell yeah! Our university leveled up! Okay. Now we have another thing we can do. Probably in the next episode, though. Because this one is already 30-something minutes in. Oh, and it counts for a park. Oh, nice. And we'll have to end this episode soon. But not yet. I want it connected perhaps directly to the line here. No, I probably want it connected to this loop. That should be the easiest. And, okay, something like that. Something like that. Should I have the need? And let's have it go through here, to here. Why not? To the university. Then, sure, let's stop here. And where are we? Let's stop here. And go back. Perfect. Now they are connected with Metro. And why are you still having issues with not enough goods? You have a cargo train terminal right here. Right next to you. Why do you not have enough goods? Do they need tourists? Do tourists count as goods? Is that it? And since I built tourist attractions in other places of the city, they're not visiting those? Is that it? Because I have a feeling it might be. Let's give you an attraction. Then. A traffic park, whatever that is. Something for children, sure. Oriental Pearl Tower, no, not quite. I'm gonna give you a statue of shopping. Sounds like a good idea for a commercial district. There, now we have tourist attractions, which should attract tourists. And you're not having enough goods. Do you also need a train terminal? So I can give you one, but not in this episode. Outro. That's gonna be something we're gonna do in the next one. So like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers.